Greetings. So we set up our game earlier today, um, and now it's time for week one. We have Magician, Berserker, Black Knight, and Elf, and we're all ready to go. Um, from the looks of the quests and the map, it pretty much, oh, wrong button, pretty much looks like to me that I think the Black Knight sticks around. He has Windfall. He's going to take his $5. The Magician doesn't have a great incentive to bolt out of there either. His incentive is to trade here and see if there's anything of interest, maybe hire someone. But I think the elf for sure, and maybe the berserker, both make a beeline. And in 2 days, one of them gets to the monastery and takes that point. So I think that's my rough plan. Right? So, and I wrote those moves down. So we can see here the magician. He's alerting, of course, hiding, trading, hiring. Berserker moves. Now the Berserker is going to move with his take cover. The Black Knight tries to grab someone, and the Elf moves out also. So it's a little bit of a race. It really comes down to the second day, or who gets caught the first day by monsters. But I can actually move this because we don't really need these are sort of vaguely active. Or I'll put them, where will I put them? I will put those here. And if someone picks them up, I can just make the card and put it on their character. For now, the only thing really point scoring is the monastery right there. So, all right. Let's see what the hell happens day one. Oops, I need dice. We got our 2 dice there. Actually going to shrink these ones. Okay, done. So we'll keep a die there and a die here. So first day we roll a monster roll for what shows up. It looks like serpents and demons are going to show up today. All right, well, see what the heck happens. Serpents and demons. The magician's first, Black Knight, and then the rest of our crowd here. So he's going to alert. Now, if I don't write that, generally I assume that I alert every time that guy, the type 6 chit for transform. He's going to hide, trade, hire, and hire. So we'll do our hide. Oops. Be nice to roll both dice. We do hide. So he is hidden in case someone shows up. No one shows up today, though, I don't think. No, house, small campfire. So he is safe. So the magician hides. He's going to trade first with the rogues. And you're pretty much looking for something with color magic, as a for instance. We get an extra search phase and an oil of poison. Neither of those are game-changing. Extra search... Oh, I didn't do which... I'm sorry, I didn't copy. Ugh. However, an extra search phase is super nice for anyone. And so I will at least roll on that just in case. Oops. Just in case we get super lucky on the roll. Okay. So we are friendly with those guys. It's a price 6 default. 5. We're going to get price times 4. That's 24 bucks. No way. Instead, we're going to hire Rogue 7. Ugh, price times 4. We'll take it. So that brings us down to $6 to start. We have $10 to start. This is Rogue 6 now. No deal. So we get Rogue 7. We're going to put him day 15 so that we know. And so we got a buddy to travel with us for the first 2 weeks of the game. And there's Rogue 7. He's not great, but he can do heavy damage. And on this side, he can do medium damage. He's a little bit faster. Typically, that 5 speed is what his problem is going to be. not fast enough to dodge a lot of the creatures we need to dodge. The Black Knight is going to do the same sort of thing. So he's going to hide first, just in case. Does he roll a 6? He doesn't, so he is hidden. And now he's going to trade. He's neutral, but he rolls a single die. He's going to roll on those spectacles too. If he gets a good deal, maybe he buys them. 2. Price times 3. That's too bad. That has to be a really good deal. 18 bucks. We're not going to sell anything for him. So he's just going to keep the 10 momentarily. Now he's going to try to hire Rogue 6. 5, no deal. And he has, I think, one more higher phase. 2. Price times 3. He will take it because Rogue 6 is another swordsman. And he can always use, I hate to say it, a little bit of cannon fodder. That helps him ready his mace. And on this side, the mace is a deadly weapon. So it gives him a little bit more options against multiple enemy combatants. So he is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Berzerker just walks right out there. And we get Dank and a statue. So those will appear on a roll of 5. And we don't see any of those today. So nothing appears. That makes the elf's move sort of easy. He's going to hide first before he does the same thing. The elf gets an extra hide every day. And so it just behooves him to hide before he moves. But he also sees nothing. Now, the interesting thing is, on day 1, we know where the statue is. The Black Knight, his interest is instantly piqued. Statue's right here. There you go. So that's good. Is there anything the end of the day that happens? Windfall. Black Knight gets a windfall. So he is going to take some cash with this card. He doesn't get a victory point. Those are events as opposed to... So he does get +5. So that gives him 12 bucks to start. So he scores windfall. And he now has 12 bucks. So I'll just put that there. And we go prowess, which is your fighting. The numbers up top, gold, great treasures, and spells. So we keep a running tally of all those things. Make it easier to calculate scores. End of the day, what's happening? The magician is going to use the white source to cast nudge. So what he does is he takes this and fatigues it, the type 8 chit. This white source goes away. And now he's going to take any other chit that he has. And I'm going to take this. This will be my nudge chit right there. So I'm going to take this M4 move. Done. And I think that's it. I think... should we take the M4? We'll take... Take that fight L4. Done. That's our nudge chit. So he is done. He's cast. The elf is also going to cast at the end of the day. I think so. We're going to cast Peace with Nature there. That chit is now tied up. And that chit is fatigued. And that is the end of our day 1. Not super exciting, but we got some stuff done here. So, what are the goals of our team? Well, first off, we got to draw a card. So let me shuffle. And he gets Diplomat. Encounter Ogres. That's a rough one. Not my favorite. And then the Black Knight also... we just drew the whole deck. The Black Knight gets Quiet Night, which gives him some extra instant rests. Okay. So let's start with the Black Knight. The Black Knight has a lackey. He likes that. I think he's going to instantaneously move 1, 2 to the statue. So we're going to hide once. We're going to move and move to the statue. Get a little bit closer in there so you can read. And we're going to do one search. And I'm not super worried about getting attacked. That imp, now that we have our guy, is a pretty trivial fight. And notice that because the statue's here, Dank is here, the worst that could happen is we get a spider and an imp. Now that's not a great fight, but with with the extra guy, I think the Black Knight can handle it. So that's going to be his move. The elf, I mean, I think. So keep in mind. So let's keep this in mind. So the elf, remember, his main quest is pub crawl, and he had to end a phase in all the garrisons. Did he end a phase in the inn? He did end a phase in the inn because first thing he did was hide. That was in the inn. Done. He's ended a phase. So we're going to cross that off his list. He still has the house, the chapel, and the guard. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just going to do a free hide phase. And he's going to end in the monastery. And the hope is, oops, I just hit Control S for some reason. The hope is that he will go first and get there. And guess what? Guess what the Berzerker's doing? He's going to move, 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 and move to the monastery, hoping he goes first and knowing that he has take cover if he needs take cover. So those two are done. The Black Knight is done. And it really just then ends up being, what is the magician going to do? Well, I mean, the statue's not terrible for the magician either, if you think about it. Just in the sense that the statue has 3 spells to learn, right? Those are all spells a magician can cast. One thing to note that there are several categories here in these scores. This is prowess. This is your combat score. So fighting monsters get you prowess. Having gold above your starting gold of 10 get you the gold score. Great treasures is, you'll see red dots on them. Those are great treasures. If anybody picks one up, we'll talk about it. And then who has the most learned spells at the end of the game? Each of those categories is worth 2 if you're in first place, 1 if you're in second place, 0 if you're third or elsewhere. So knowing that the elf is the only other spellcaster in the game, the magician, by learning even a single spell here, might just ensure himself 2 points. So I think we're going to go with that. So everybody has a day 2 written. That means we can roll the monster roll. It's 3 ogres, wolves, goblins, octopi. Okay, done. Ooh, let me hold on. Make sure this is random. I think we FIFO'd it the last time, so that was my fault. Berzerker is first. Elf is second. So Berzerker goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, and he is done. And he makes it to the monastery. He's going to flip these chits. And it is a shrine, so demons and smoke dragons. So nothing appears. We're looking for the blue square. But the Berzerker does score the monastery. So I'm going to put and there's the first victory point scored in the game. Right there. Technically it isn't, I suppose. The Black Knight actually has 2 points because he's currently winning gold. So our scores actually look like this at the end of the second day. So there you go. So the Berzerker made it first. The elf is going to follow, and he's going to roll. And he's going to succeed in his hide, because remember, he gets an extra hide. So these guys are there. They're done. The elf's a little bit perturbed, but so be it. Black Knight's going to go here. He moves 2. He does try to hide once. He fails, so he is stuck there, unhidden. And he will, I believe, search 1 time, right? Yes, he searches once. He needs a 4 or a 1. Now, if you know Magic Realm, you know how these rolls go. If you don't know Magic Realm, because you just wandered in here because I was playing Archmage Rising, Magic Realm, you roll 2 dice, you take the highest die, womp womp. So that is a 6, not a 5, or an 11. It is a 6. And high rolls generally are bad. So he doesn't find anything, and he is done with his day. The Magician wanders up. He's going to hide. A 6 is a failure on a hide. Everything else is a success. The Magician does hide. And hold on. So hide, move. Yeah, hide, move, move, search. And the Magician gets a search. 4 or a 1. 5. He also finds nothing. Their day is over. That was a quiet day 2. So for day 3, the Magician will alert, of course, his chit. So the Magician gets to alert a chit. He always alerts that one, typically. And that means he can cast it at a time 0. 0 is the fastest time he can cast it before anything else happens. It's a readied spell. I picture him, he's got all these trinkets and stuff and magic paraphernalia, which is indeed what the perk is called. And then he essentially casts a spell into one of them for instant retrieval. He's also going to, so he's going to rest once because getting this chit back is super important to him. You can't have 2 nudge chits, but we want that back when we can. He will hide again just in case something shows, and he will search twice, done. The Black Knight, going to hide once, search 3 times, and he is done. The Berzerker and the Elf are a little bit harder because I got to figure out what the hell they're trying to do. The Berzerker would like to locate the cairn. I think all of those largely require, or the Shrine. The Shrine has 4 treasures in. The Shrine also has a type 1, a holy spell, and a demonic spell, a type 5. We can't cast any of those. Only the Magician can cast the type 5. But 4 treasures. So the question is, do you stay and search, or do you move on, knowing that everyone's going to have to blow through this, find this right here, this passage. And someone might have to hire the enchanter to enchant this tile so you can get to the borderland without having to run through the cave. Good question. I don't know. Also, if these guys get up there first, they've essentially cut the board in half. I mean, minus the caves. Caves are always an option. So, that's interesting. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that the Berzerker hides once, searches 3 times. Look, treasures are always a good deal. And if you do get a monster, then you can use that monster lure at a later day. So I think he searches. The elf is trying to get his pub crawl completed. That's 2 points for him. So I do think 1, 2, 3, 4, and done. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll end up in Cursed Valley 2. So he's going to move to the house and move to 2, Cursed Valley 2. So that will knock off the house. Now, I don't know that he knocks it off. I'm making some big assumptions here. All right, that's day 3 written. We do need to roll a monster check here for day 3. So let's see what happens. Ooh, 4. Giants and trolls. Okay. Elf is first. The elf's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the elf ended a phase at the house. Done. We've got 2 of the 4 pub crawls complete. Here's the thing. The reason I didn't hide, no, I could have rolled his hide. I should have done his hide just for giggles. I'm going to put it there. It's an extra hide, but no need to hide. The reason is, again, if you're new to Magic Realm, these valleys never draw monsters. Done. So there's no need to hide in there. If he's in a dwelling, he might need to hide because he might not like the guys in there and they might not like him. In fact, how does he all feel about the soldiers? That sounds bad. No, he's okay with them. He's neutral. So he is done. The magician is next. The magician is going to alert his chip. He's going to pull this back into his active, and he's going to search 2 times. Remember, he needs a 4 or a 1, and he gets a 5. That's a fail, and he gets a 5. 2 fails. He finds nothing. I don't think anything shows up because we are looking for gray hexagons, and we don't see any. So he is done. Next is the Black Knight. The Black Knight is hiding. And he is hidden also. He is searching 3 times to find this statue. He finds the statue. Done. So the Black Knight gets to cross the statue off. He's going to score a VP. So I'm going to put locate statue. And he has completed that quest, and he still has 2 phases. So what he's going to do is he's going to roll loot twice, and he needs to roll a 3 or less. There are 3 treasures in the pile, and he needs to roll a 3, 2, or 1. Nope, and he gets 1 more. No, he finds nothing in there. Can't loot anything out of there, but he did find it and locate it, and that is going to be enough to get him a victory point and actually give him just a pretty, a tiny lead, effectively. And we need to make sure we're going to draw him a card. So we do draw him a card. That's for tomorrow. He'll get to see that tomorrow. Finally, the Berzerk is going to go, and the Berzerk is hiding once and searching 3 times. So we're going to hide first. He does succeed at hiding. We're looking for a 4 or a 1 to find the shrine. That's a fail 1. Fail 2. Come on. 3rd time is a charm. He doesn't get to loot it, but he does find the shrine. He can loot it tomorrow, I suppose, because he has that shrine found and done, and nothing appears. So another quiet day in terms of monsters, but a little bit of activity with some characters finding treasure sites. So let's talk about the magician. The magician has not found the treasure site. He would like to find the treasure site. Rest. Maybe we spend 1 more day. Give a search. There. The Berzerker, we're going to hide. Again, we'll take some searching time. We need to figure out what the Black Knight has quest-wise. Ghost Hunter. Well, okay. The ghosts aren't bad for the knight. He could probably do Ghost Hunter. Does he spend 1 more day and try to drag 1 treasure out of here? That's really the question. I think 1 more day. I don't think we're going to spend for 3 treasures. I don't think we're spending a lot of many days here. It's close enough to go to the ghosts, so we spend 1 more day here. See if we can't drag something out of this statue. Search the base of the statue. I tap it with my 10-foot pole. I mean, I can picture the D&D parties searching the statue for treasure. I think that's it. I think he goes 1 more. And then he will move on, though, because he's got other ways to score. He's not going to score off those treasures. Day 4 for the elf. Pretty much 1, 2, 3. I don't think he likes the order, though. He doesn't. So he's going to hide. Extra hide. Move, and then move to the chapel. Every mountain clearing, and a mountain clearing is the one with the symbols. You'll see the symbols there. That costs 2 to get into, pretty much. So he's going to go there. That's going to mark the chapel off, and he will only have the guardhouse to get his pub crawl done. Now it's cost him, and that he's not putzing around with all these things, right? He's not searching the statue, right? So he's giving up a little bit of early points. He'll get 2 points once he completes. He could use more point scoring opportunities, though. So we'll have to sort of consider that. So on day 4, everybody's written a day 4. Let's get an important monster roll here. Oh, it's another 3. I don't think that's going to draw any monsters right now. I don't think anybody's going to end up in a cave where they can draw monsters. So it's been a quiet first week in terms of creatures showing up. So first it is the Magician. The Magician is alerting his transform again. He's not resting. That's a hide. I'm sorry. Duh. Dumb. Okay. He's going to hide. He does. So he is hidden. When you start your day, you flip over. Always unhidden. He's searching 3 times to find the statue. So 4 or a 1, please. Nope, that's a 6. 3. Nope, that's not a locate. And a 6. Nope, he doesn't find anything. So he is done with his day. The Berzerker is going to hide. And he does. And now he's going to loot. And he needs a 4, 3, 2, or a 1 to draw a treasure out of the shrine. And he gets a 4. So he gets the 4th treasure in there. Now there's 2 extra cards. So he gets the 4th treasure on there. So he gets the 6th card. It is the Gripping Dust. Your weapon stays alerted at all times, even when you hit. So for 1 combat, once he does gets that weapon, it never comes unalerted. For some combats, that might be useful. For others, not so much. So that's 1. He gets 2 more of these. He needs now a 3, 2, or 1. That ain't going to do it. Come on, give me a good roll. No, that's bad. Okay, well, he finds 1 treasure, and he is done. The elf's going to hide. And he does, and he ends up at the chapel. Does anyone else end up at the chapel? Yes, the patrol shows up at the chapel. I don't think the elf loves the patrol. No, it's just neutral. And he is done. And he marks the chapel off his quest log. So now, oops, I put a small c there. That's not super useful. So now we are down to just the guardhouse to complete pub crawl. So that's pretty good in a week to get the 3 of those done. Black Knight. We said we're going to try 1 more day to drag something out of here. He's going to hide first, which he does. Now, if he doesn't hide and he draws a treasure, the Magician actually gets to find it for free because he's in the open. In this case, that does not happen. So he gets 1. And actually, the Magician, we really should have been paying attention, although I don't know that you can. Yeah. One of these, peer. I think you can find hidden enemies. And finally, the Black Knight's going to drag 3 treasures out. So he has 3 chances. He needs a 3, 2, or 1, though. And he gets a 3. So he's going to get the 6th card in the pile because there are 3 spell cards above. And he gets the handy gloves. That's not terrible. It's not terrible for the Black Knight. It's not great. And I put this in active, even though technically he needs to execute a phase or whatever to do it. But he's, the reason it's not great is because typically his strategy is to flip this over to its readied side. See the time on it, 3. If there's a time on your weapon, it supersedes any time on your chit. Here. So then he plays a big heavy fight and hits at a heavy 3. and does good damage at a good time. This allows him to match that time really well, but he'll only do medium damage. So against some creatures, goblins, for instance, this is a big winner because he can just smash through them easier with the handy gloves. But on heavier dudes, he's going to need to play one of these heavy chits. Nonetheless, it is it's a nice enough treasure there. So that's one. Two, he doesn't draw anything. And then the third roll, he doesn't draw anything. So he is done. And again, nothing appears because we were looking for blue symbols. We don't have them. And so we are quietly careening into day 5. Now the Black Knight likes he likes that for these guys. These guys are medium creatures, so he can kill them on that side. So I'm going to say that he's going to charge up to Deepwood 6. So the Black Knight is going to do pretty much what he said he would do, which is move on. And he's going to move into Deepwood 6. He's going to head to Ghost Hunter and try to complete that. He's got a buddy. Let's get this done, is sort of what he's thinking. So that's his action. The Berzerker, man. Now he's rolling a 3, 2, or 1. One more day of searching. Take cover if he needs it, and he is done. The Magician, I would love to find this thing, but I don't want to spend that many more days here. We're going to rush it too. We're going to go for it also. Again, the worst that can happen is we get a spider and an imp. We have a buddy. Done. So we got day 5, day 5, day 5. That leaves our elf here. Okay, so the goal is to get to the chapel. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We could make it back to the monastery today with a hide. So hide, move, and move to the monastery. And that's his thing. Trying to head back out of here. We are on day 5. We're rolling the monsters. It's a 3 again. Ugh. Okay, I mean, that's great. Unless you... Now, keep in mind, the elf can call monsters if he needs to. I don't know that he needs to just as of yet. He's doesn't have any monsters to get. So the Black Knight is first, and the Black Knight just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and he is done. And the elf's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and be hidden or not. And he is. But he's done. And again, no monsters are going to show. We already have established that a 3 draws nothing. We are not hiding, by the way, the Magician. He's going to alert, and he's going to search 4 times. He gets a 3. Not enough. He gets a 2. Not sufficient. That's good. That's a 4. Finally, he's going to find the statue. Also, he has one more search left, and he's going to do what's called reading runes to try to learn these spells. The Magician gets a -1 to read runes. That's good and bad. In this case, it's good because he learns the spell and awakens it. And so what we do is this. So I'm going to pull these out. 1, 2 there in a pile in order. Like that. And I'm going to pull. So we have some homebrew spells in here also. Like that. So we're going to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle both of these decks. Then we're going to draw the type 8, a type 7, and another type 7. And then these ones can go away because they don't have all the extra spells or whatever. So these are the spells that are in play. And the magician has just learned this one, Guide Spider or Octopus. Now, I like this spell, actually. I like it, and I like it for the magician. So we get a copy of it. The only problem with laying these out like I did is that I cannot gauge what the size of any new card needs to be to vaguely match the size of the other cards. There we go. That's the size. The reason I like this spell is because this opens up the cairn and or the pool to us as long as we have a gray and a type 8, which we do. So we have also learned one spell. So I'm going to put that on his sheet. The magician has learned a single spell, and that's going to actually give him 2 points right now until someone else learns a spell. But that was his last move of the day, and so he is done. Finally, the Berzerker searches 4 times. He is just trying to drag a treasure out of the altar. That's not good. That is a failure. He needs a 3, 2, or 1 to get this done. That is not enough. That is 2, 3. Give it to me. Give me 1. Give me 1. There we go. Third guy in the pile, which is the 5th card. Quick Boots. Not a favorite. The reason we're not a favorite of the Quick Boots is I'm too heavy for them. He tries to pull them on and just rips them apart and shreds them. But it's $8 worth. Now this is great for a lot of other characters. It's great for the elf. It'd be great for the magician. This is great for either of those guys, but not for the Berzerker. But it is worth $8. So right now he has $11 in his pocket. If he can get back and sell these, that's pretty good stuff for him. I think that's the whole day. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, so what happens is this spell goes back onto the pile, but it goes on the bottom. So the next spell he learns will be that one. So on day 6, so the magician now has a choice. He's got his points for sure. He's got his points for sure. Now the question is, does he want to try to learn the other 2 spells? And that would just be for game purposes. The elf's probably not learning a ton of spells. But if you can learn, say, 2 spells, you probably have, in this game, with these characters, you might have secured the 2 points for the... And we'll get to the scores here on day 7, because they'll be at least interesting. A lot of characters have at least scored somewhat, except for the elf. The elf has not scored from what I can see. So he might stick around one more day. I hate spending an entire week having moved only 2 clearings. And yet, maybe I've done that. Maybe those are the points that you're getting. I mean, he could move on, but the chance of you coming back to getting these spells, and there's a couple still useful spells probably out there. Let's try it and see what he gets. As long as he has a nudge chit, he's actually very safe at reading runes. The Berzerker, I think that's it now. I think he is sort of done trying to drag treasures out. He could go back and sell. No reason not to sell. $11. Because right now he's got 10. He could get $11. I think he's going 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go to Deep Woods 5. So I'm just going to put move, Deep Woods 5. He's going to do 4 moves straight to Deep Woods 5. Our Black Knight is still trying to get at these ghosts. So he's going to take 1, 2 moves to get there. So he's going to hide 2 times and then move into the ghosts. And then our elf is going to move twice. He's going to hide once, of course. Move 2 times. He'll be at cliff 5? 3? Which number cliff is that? 3. Cliff 3. So those 2 moves. He will search once. He will use the guide. But then he cannot move any further. So that's a little bit of a bummer for him. So what he's going to do is he's going to rest once because he can and get that chip back. And he'll be done. And that's it. And that's what, is that day 6? Day 6. So on day 7, the reason we worry about day 7 is because day 7, we roll 2 monster dice. It makes it a little more perilous. 4, giants and trolls again. Okay. I don't know that that's going to bring anything out either, except for the cliff. Maybe the cliff. Black Knight is first. So the Black Knight is going to hide 2 times. It gives him a 90% chance to be hidden. And he is. And he moves into where the ghosts are done. So he's going to fight those ghosts. End of the day. Berzerker goes 1, 2, 3, 4, knowing that if he needs to, he could have taken cover. However, no one's going to do anything. That is not a giant or troll spot. The Magician hides once, alerts, of course, as always, and searches 3 times. Let's roll the hide first. He is hidden. Let's roll Reading Runes 3 times. Remember, -1 to both dice. 6. Okay, that does stink, and I'll tell you why that stinks, because this becomes a 5. This becomes a 4. That means he is cursed. So we're going to have to nudge that. So that's a bummer. So what happens is this reverts and fatigues. And you can't really fatigue a non-asterisk chit, but for purposes of this, it counts like it had an asterisk. It costs 1 to move back. Done. So he saved himself, but it does make more rolling a little dicey, right? Because there's still a 30% chance of getting cursed now for his next 3 times. Do we roll it to get the spells? Do we just try to grab one of the 2 treasures left? We're going to go for the Read Runes. We're going to risk it. Read Runes. Come on, Read Runes. 4. That's a 3. Learn and Awaken spell. So that's a winner. So we're going to draw this card. It is Premonition. You don't have to write your move, or you can take your turn anytime at the beginning of during the day. That's fine. Honestly, that's one that ultimately barely matters. In the scheme of things, in this game, without a ton of PvP, typically, a game like a spell like that doesn't do us much good. It does probably cement us the card victory. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong card. So the question then is, do we get the last spell or not? I'm gonna, without my nudge, I think I'm gonna play it safe and go for the 2 or 1. And we don't get it. If we had a nudge, I would nudge it, but we don't have the nudge left, and we are done. So that is our day. That wasn't bad. But that spell's useless. So he is done. The elf goes here. The elf has a hide. He doesn't, so he is unhidden. The elf's going to rest his chip right there. And he's going to search once, but he's going to burn guide, which is good because he needs more point-giving cards. That's part of the problem. And he immediately finds Cliff 3-6. Done. And there you go. He has found this passage actually, up to the mountain. He also has to flip these. Oh, Stink, that's going to draw, and Patter. So Stink M is going to draw this giant to his clearing. So a little dangerous. That's a little dangerous. And we are done. So we got 2 combats on day 6. We have this fight against the ghosts. This fight is going to be the easier one for sure because he's probably going to just get out of dodge. So he's going to play, all he has to do is play lower than this 5. And if you look at the elf's chits, his move chits are all lower than 5s. So he's going to play this one and run out of the clearing. And he has to go back the way he came because he just got there today. If he'd have been in there all day, he'd get to go either way, but he has to go this way, including, but he has to go this way. So he will have to hide his way around this guy to get out into up into here where he wants to end up. That's that combat. This combat is going to be a little bit more active. We've got 2 enemies, 2 ghosts. Ghosts are not particularly dangerous to the Black Knight. Main thing is, on this side, they will hit him and destroy a piece of armor, or the shield, and damage a piece of armor. On this side, they do nothing. Now, we are hidden. So this is a good way to start this fight. So we're going to stay hidden. And we're going to use the handy gloves, which give us a chip, which give us a nice little chip to use right there. So the handy gloves is going to give us this chip, and we are going to play it just like that. And we cannot be attacked this round because we are hidden. So where does the ghost end up? We're going to use this handy dandy little chart, and you'll see on 4, everybody stays in the same box. Perfect. Now we roll 2 dice. On 6, this guy flips over to his other tactics. He doesn't. So what happens is our attack goes first on round 1. It's length, weapon length. Ours is a 1 versus a 0, tooth and claw. He hits. He does medium damage. This guy is a medium creature. We can tell by the size of the chit. There's medium, smallest, heavy, and then tremendous creatures. So he hits this ghost and kills it, and that is round 1. And this ghost remains untargeted. On round 2, we're all unhidden. So what we're going to do is we're going to lure. Our native will lure here, like that. We will then play on this guy's sheet to cover him also, to help him out. And we don't even have to ready the weapon because those gloves, actually. So let's see where the ghost... This guy will not move, but the ghost will still move based on the die roll. 4, so he's going to line right the hell up. That's good, and give me 1 second. Let's see if the ghost flips. The ghost doesn't flip. So what happens is, on round 2 and subsequent rounds, the fastest attacks go first. Low numbers are faster. His attack goes and his attack go at the same time, with him breaking ties because his weapon length is a 4. He will hit the ghost by intercepting him, meaning he stays on the same row and does medium damage, killing the ghost. And that's it. Done. So 2 rounds, not actually, we don't fatigue. We don't even break a sweat. We get 4 prowess, 2 for each ghost in this case. Sometimes you multiply the numbers, but not when your buddies kill them. So we get 4 prowess. We get Ghost Slayer. We get Ghost Hunt. We could go to the chapel for a reward. So I'm going to put this card just right down there. I am going to draw another card for tomorrow. But that is another point. We also have 4 prowess now, which actually puts us in the lead for prowess. That's going to give us a pretty healthy lead here momentarily, at least for the first week. That's day 6, and the ghosts are dead. They will come back, but the ghosts are dead momentarily. So he used that, and he used those cards. So we have those cards are gone. And let's draw our other cards here, which we did. So let's plant your flag. Okay. And he gets a gray source. That is not super useful for him. He's going to burn that pretty much instantly. In fact, I'm just going to discard it now, even though, but he can't act on this card today. I'll just keep it face down. So I'm not even going to write gray source. We're just going to burn the card first phase today. So it's day 7. It's the end of the first week. So first thing is, keep in mind what's going to happen is we're going to roll 2 monster dice. That means double the number of boxes will draw monsters. So that could be dangerous. Monsters will also respawn or come off the board based on the rolls. Next day, before day 8 occurs, we're going to draw 3 more events and line up the events. So we'll have 3 more scoring opportunities right here. Having said that, let's look at every character real quick, just to get an idea what the plan is. I think we have to move on. I don't like ogres for our magician. That's sort of a useless thing, but we have to move on. We're trying to find the vault effectively, right? Is it the vault? Yes, locate the vault or slay a spider. So I was hoping a spider would show up because we could kill a spider. No spider has shown up, by the way. So I think we're going to do 2 things. I think we're going to make our way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to make our way to the ruin real quick to see what's in there before assessing what else to do. So I think the magician, obviously alert, like always. He's going to hide, and he's going to move, and move to Deepwoods 4. And that's it. And he's hoping that maybe the vault's in the ruin, largely is what it comes down to. The second character, the Berzerker, I think the Berzerker is still trying to 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to make his way to the inn. So he's going to move to the inn, and he'll be done this round. Is there a monster to lure? Do we have to position ourselves for the giant? Oh, it'd be so nice to be hidden and do that. Okay, hold on. We can sell at the inn any old day. With the caveat that okay, yeah, we're gonna do exactly what we just said. Done. Because it's day 7, you're gonna draw potentially more monsters. So I don't necessarily want to be dragging the giant and a spider and an imp and so on. Let's be at least a little wary. So plant your flag. We have to roll that position first. So the Black Knight's gonna get a marker here. This is largely going to determine Mountain 1. So the Black Knight puts a chip on Mountain 1. Oof. So his flag is all the way up there. If he can get there with no monsters on the board, then he will essentially claim that land for himself. So, I mean, he might that might be a good way to spend your day there. So, what's he going to do? Well, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go to Deep Woods 5. And that's going to leave our elf. Our elf has to go to 2 first thing. So he moves to 2. Going to use his extra hide. He's going to move back to 3. And he's going to try to move to 6. So he's going to try to get up the path there. That's going to take his 4 moves. And we can look at that. Mountain Pilgrim. You must end a phase in each one of the following tiles. Mountain, ledges, and cliff. Well, he's going to end up in the cliff. That's easy. So that's sort of cool. And the mountains is nearby. Where are the ledges? I mean, the mountain's not that close. Oh, the mountain's here. The ledges are where? Over here. He might be able to get there. He can probably do that one. The only danger being he fails to hide, pretty much. All right. Okay, I think we're good to go. I think it is time to roll the monster rolls. It's going to be 6 and 1, bats and dragons. Ooh, we haven't seen either bats or dragons up until now. There's also white magic in every clearing. Magician is first. Magician is going to try to get to Deep Woods 4. 1, 2, 3. This is after he hides once. He does. Neither bats nor dragons show up there, and he is done. The Berzerker goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is going to draw the company to the end. I don't know how the Berzerker feels about the company. He is neutral to the company, and he is done. Black Knight goes 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, right? He just books it. Yep. And that's okay because nothing's going to appear in there. And it's pretty much the elf is the one we have to worry about. He moves here. He's going to hide, and we really need to not fail this. But we do fail it. And then we end up back in there, and we are stuck there. But no bats appear, and no dragons appear. So no monsters in there. That stinks for the elf because he's wasted a day, pretty much. So let's take a look at our scores and positions real quick. So the magician has no prowess. He has 1 spell. That's enough for 2 points for him because he is the leader in spells. Turn this to me a little bit. The Berzerker has scored a single card. Done. He will probably get gold, but he won't get that until tomorrow, until day 8. Does he have anything else going for him? I don't think he does. Monster lore, probably. So he'll get a couple points here very soon. The Black Knight is the big winner of the week. He is just killing the ghosts. He has won prowess. With the 12 gold, just his windfall gets him enough gold to win gold. And he scored 1 card, Ghost Hunter. So that's 5 points in total. And the elf has been making progress around the board. And he has 3 of 4 of his pub crawl done and 1 of 3 of his mountain pilgrim done. What he doesn't have is any points. And so that is where we're at the end of day 7. So that's the first week. It wasn't super fighty. There wasn't a lot of creatures showing up. We did get I mean, we got some use out of treasure sites. The magician got decent use. I have to recast. So that's the other thing. So what we're going to do is tonight we're going to recast Nudge, burning this, and gold. So we're going to burn these two. We're going to cast Nudge again. The only problem being we did not rest. So we're going to have to rest up some chits to get things going here. So that's where we're at. He's going to cast that. I think that's it. I think that is truly the end of the week. When we come back next game, it'll be week 2. We will draw 3 new events to start the week, and we'll see how these guys go. We'll see if the elf can make good on his sort of traveling quests here. Otherwise, I think that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, let me save. Let me just make sure we save here. So we'll overwrite this. Done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment, please. Hopefully, a couple folks that have not watched Magic Realm maybe stumbled in on this. It's the best board game ever created, so keep that in mind. Just keep that. Understand something. Best board game ever. I will talk to you again in a day or two, and we'll try to get this game knocked out here as fairly quickly. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.